magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future. Transformers Slag Podcast.
I'm back from TFcon. How we all doing? This is the Transformers Slag Podcast Saturday Night live stream main event. I am your host, Proto Man. I am the face that runs this place. I am the voice you hear Monday to Friday, although we didn't have anything on Friday because we were at a absolutely banging Transformer convention. How we doing? It's a good day. It's a good day. It's going to be a fun one. I watched Aaron Archer's live stream yesterday, and he told his stories at TFcon, and it made me even more invigorated to tell some of mine. And a lot of cool stuff we got, presents, meeting a lot of fans. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic. Uh, I can't say if it was Orlando was kind of the same thing where there was tons of people that were just like praising the podcast and everything, but this one was probably just as much. We got a lot of people in the chat today. Who do we got here? Prince and Phalanx 59, Mototron, YLagY, Horned Owl, Rudy Mack, Will Murphy, Patrick Brown, Fawn Hart 2000, Cringe McCringle, what's up? His name's going to come up. T-Formers 2002, Tom McNeil. I want to make sure I'm not missing nobody. Grant Brown, I think I already said, or Patrick Brown. So many Brown, so much Brown in the Brown town. Mr. Bumblebot, Orlando Chavez, Roman Schillen. How we all doing? Ninjatron's here. What's up, Dylan? So we're gonna talk some Transformers. Mayoral Fabrication. What's up? Jeez, all the good guys are here today. David Cabal. God, it's gonna be a good one. All we're missing is one Hasbro person's here, but we're missing Aaron. One specific Hasbro person's here. You know who you are. But yeah, it is what it is. Let's get into it. So we got some news we're gonna cover. We're gonna talk about some stuff we got at TFcon. Nothing really came in the mail per se. Maybe I'll save some of that stuff maybe for next week. And we'll just take some super chats and just chill for the evening. But it was an absolutely fantastic TFcon. Joey, welcome to the mini-con recruits. Welcome. Ask questions to your heart's content, like always, and thank you for joining. And so we'll tackle the news first because I know we got a lot of stuff we got to cover, and it's going to be a busy one today. I swear I was talking to the lady, and I was almost wondering, should I do 3 hours? Like maybe I should do 3 hours. I don't know. We'll see. We will see how I feel. But let's jump into it first. First thing I want to cover, kind of a downer news, but it is something related to our Transformer world. Tony Todd has passed away. I believe he passed away yesterday, it was. News broke definitely this morning of his passing. He was 69 years old. My buddy Jaws D, regular co-host of the podcast, we have this discussion all the time of brothers in the community and how, man, it's really tough to get to 70 in that world. And Tony made it to 69, and it's like, damn. And granted, we were just talking not too long ago about Quincy Jones passing at 91, so he kind of went against the grain, but, Tony Todd, he deserves his flowers. I actually knew him, a little bit of Proto Man lore. For people who know, one of my first jobs I ever had was working at a video store at a very young age of 12 years old, and I always knew him from Candyman. Like, that was like the first time I ever knew of him. I don't really know him from anything much else. I'm pretty sure he did some of the Spike Lee joints, but I mean, that's what I knew him for. And in all honesty, I forgot that he was the voice of the Fallen in Revenge of the Fallen. Like I knew him for Dreadwing because like Sue Blue was really going out of her way to get a lot of like B-list celebrities for voices for Transformers Prime. But, I forgot that he was the Fallen too. So awesome stuff otherwise, but it's a shame to see him pass this early. What? I don't really have the information of what happened. 69 years old. I mean, I have my speculation again. I'll let Jaws D be the one who talks about it on another podcast that we frequent, but it is what it is. We will see what happens in the near future if there's any more information, unless I missed something. But again, rest in peace, Tony Todd, and you always be the Candyman, the Hook Man. But But yeah, tough stuff. A lot of passing actually in the past couple of months. It's been pretty wild. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. Let's go to now some actual news now. I'm sorry about the downer. I just always want to start it with that. But let's go into some deluxe class Transformers EarthSpark listing. Speaking of something that's on its way out also. Um, Giggity. Transformers EarthSpark listings. These come courtesy of JT Prime 17. And most of these we already know, but there is some brand new ones here that we're kind of seeing for the first time. This Cyber Glow Megatron, whatever that is. Spitfire is kind of a given, considering we just have all of those Twitch molds. I mean, just paint them green. Cosmos is the one. That's the one that I'm going like, what's going on with that? Because Cosmos is that's like a leader class toy. What's up, Aaron? Fantastic live stream yesterday, my friend. Um, but yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with that Cosmos. That makes no sense. Like, how does that even fit into a deluxe packaging? Are they just gonna repack the Speedia 500 version and just call it Cosmos? Like I don't know. Oh, JT Prime did not retire. JT Prime, with his background, there's no way he's retiring. It's not happening. It'll still keep coming forever and ever. But yeah, I mean, this is supposedly, according to him, the last of the EarthSpark product before going into Cyberworld. So, and I'll take his word for it because of his background. Let's put it that way. So, we will see. We will see. But again, I'm really curious. How are they going to do that, Cosmos? I don't like. Whatever they're going to do. Unfortunately, I'm going to feel disappointed because he should have been like a leader class toy, even though they don't really have that price point in this main line, but it's something that would have been more suited for that, in my opinion. Kind of like how a while back when classics first started, how we got like that oversized Power Glide that was in the ultra price point when that was a thing. Like I felt like that's something that could be done here, but whatevs. It is what it is. EarthSpark is on its way outo. And then we got these beauties. These were, let me tell you something. Over TFcon weekend, they were the talk of the weekend. Everyone was with the Blockies, building the Blockies, loving the Blockies. I mean, I got some right here that Michael Koo sent me. I have a whole bunch of them that he sent me, and they're pretty awesome. Just where's my hot rod one? Why doesn't that one exist? But uh, so we got now the Galaxy version Defenders price point. This is going to be a different kind of Blockies, which are going to be more of an SD kind of style. I believe I remember correctly reading 5 inches. These are tall, 5 or 4 inches, similar to what the current Blockies are, maybe a little taller. And they're going to come in a case of 12. 4 of those Blockies are going to be alt modes. The other 8 are going to be robot modes. Here's what we have thus far: Optimus in robot mode, Optimus in alt mode with a roller attachment, Prowl in robot mode, Thundercracker in robot mode, Megatron in robot mode, and a Thundercracker in alt mode. People were speculating maybe these transform. They do not transform. It's just that you might get a alt mode model kit instead of a robot mode model kit. Not the best thing, as someone who's built model kits of vehicles, they're not as exciting to build. Usually it's a shell and a couple of wheels and maybe some details here and there. And considering that most Blockies already have the details tampoed on, so that even leads to less engagement. No putting stickers on, no painting. So building a truck Optimus is probably going to be like 5 pieces, maybe 6. Maybe they put that roller in there just to make it a little more interesting, but I'm kind of curious how these come out. I don't know if they have the light up gimmick that some Blockies have too. So it was kind of light on information. Supposedly we're going to learn more about this later this month. So stay tuned for that and we'll keep you updated because Blockies are pretty hype. I'm just glad that people are getting into model kit building. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Let's just look at the chat for a second. Where's my X-Files crossover Transformers flying saucer? Well, the question is, who does it transform into, Mulder or Scully, or is it Agent Krychek, the double agent? But then they can make that double face, aka sideways. Joey's, who's our new member here, Cyberverse Astro Train Titan class would be awesome. I would love any more Cyberverse stuff, to be honest. I really do. I really do. I want way more Cyberverse stuff. That show should have kept going. It kind of has those same animated feels for me where I wish there was more. Modutron Prime should have had a large figure like Iaconus, exactly, from Cyberverse. I love that Iaconus figure. It just kind of riddled with that silly spin changer gimmick, but I love his sword. The sword's cool. I bought that figure day one just because it's it's the closest we'll have to a Titan class, if you will. But yeah. So yeah, we'll see what's happening with these. I did an individual segment that has a little bit more information, but not much, unfortunately. So we'll keep you posted. And then going from this to this, we got more Funko. Uh, yeah, so we got the Retro Toys Biddy Pops. We got the Biddy Pops Biddy Bots. If you want to know how Biddy Pops work, it's a blind pack kind of system that you're not necessarily going to get all Transformers. You're pretty much knowing what you're getting of the first three, which are going to be of a designated set. So you will get three Transformers, but then you don't know if the fourth one's going to be Soundwave or a GI Joe character or the guy from Operation, the board game. So it's kind of like that. And the Biddy Pop Biddy Bots is kind of a mecha driven weirdo kind of thing. And it's probably the only way you're going to be able to get a Red Rumble Biddy Pop. So that's probably the main reason. Although I don't know, it's weird. It's weird. Funko is just trying to figure out how to make money, pretty much. You know what? I will say this. Funko owns Mondo Toys, and Mondo Toys makes really good stuff. So it's not all bad, but most of it really is. That's all I'm gonna say. Shout out to Cringe McCringle, the Lord of Target, the King of the Isle. He found these and broke the news yesterday at 5 p.m. And we got some multi-pack gift packs of Transformer One product. This is obviously the individual Mega Changers, which is kind of what the Titan class was in a lot of ways with Rise of the Beast and Authentics. And it's the previously existing individual products now in a gift box or a multi-pack, depending how you want to use the vernacular. But yeah, so and it's going to be $10 cheaper instead if you bought them individually. So we don't know if this is a Black Friday item. We don't know if this is a holiday item. It's something. Maybe it's a Target exclusive. So if you didn't get the Titan Changer / Mega Changers and you want to get them, you could save $10 if you buy this multi-pack as opposed to buying the individual ones. But that's about it. Maybe a Cringe will find some more stuff in the deep, dark trenches of the Target back room. We will see. And then the big news today is this bad boy right here, which I edited the photo just a little bit, so you have to bear with me. I kind of connected the legs and I moved the shoulder pieces, but we got Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager Class Prima, and it's our very first look at it. Not much I could really say. Hey, look at the toes. The toes match that old art. Aaron, who did the art on that one? I remember you guys first showed that piece of art all those years ago at BotCon 2014, 2013 during the product preview panel. I remember, I don't know who drew that art though. That was in the vault, if I remember correctly. It's the first time it was shown. That very cool book. If you ever get a chance, pick that one up. The Vault and the Covenant of Primus. Those are like the two like must-have Transformer books for Transformer fans. That and maybe what's the one there? The DK book, The Ultimate Transformers Guide by Simon Furman. That one's pretty good too. And of course, getting a copy of anything that's done by the Japanese, get the Generations Guidebook. We got a super chat of two, I guess that's euros, pounds. I don't know. Cow skull beef eater. I hear you there. How would you tie up the Botsmaster Toon story? Oh, someone is looking at my Botsmaster patch there. Botsmaster. Well, I'll answer it after this. How about that? But yeah, so this came out. It's something where we pretty much figure it's going to be a truck mode, and it's clearly going to be Prima. It's going to have a storing matrix. This is horribly mistransformed because the arms aren't fully extended. The legs are half like this. Typical factory stolen stuff. It was Ken that did the art. Ken Christensen did it. Awesome. Did he do the other ones too for the Covenant? Like all the other featured ones? Ken does a lot of good work, eh? He did a lot of work with animated too, huh? He has a lot of good work, Ken. Good stuff. But we'll see what happens with this. Obviously, don't even judge the colors on this. This is like an early mold test. Like we've had this before. If you check the individual segment I did, like we had a bludgeon with no head that was not even close to the colors. The Trash Master. I could go on and on and on. So, but looks very cool. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. Cringe McCringle would love if there were American guidebooks of the previous TF lines. Well, unfortunately, there's just not a world for that. Japan is all on top of it, but we don't buy books anymore, unfortunately. That's just kind of the way it is. So let's get into Cow Skull's question here. So how would you tie up the Botsmaster toon story? Well, I don't want to spoil for people who haven't seen it, but around the end of the series, there's this suggestion of like kind of like sentience of the bad guys, like the bad guys who've been trying to make sentient robots finally get sentient robots. And I mean, the honest answer is they go rogue. It's going to be a Skynet kind of thing, and it's up to ZZ and the boys to fix things. That's kind of how I see they could have done it. I don't want to go much more into that because if ever they go and want to bring back Botsmaster and do a season 2, I am going to definitely put in my pitch. Let's put it that way, because I got plans and I like to believe I'm the biggest Botsmaster fan in the world. So if you are a Transformer fan and you have not watched Botsmaster, a Shuki Levy and God, me and Aaron were just talking about him not too long ago. Shuki Levy and John Shalapan creation. Fantastic. Sentient robots, rapping music, 90s, 3D action. Great stuff. Great stuff. Great, great, great stuff. But yeah, so there's that. And we will see definitely more of Age of the Primes for sure. We will see. We will see. So let's get into some sponsorship. And then we'll open it up to super chats. And then we have so much cool stuff and stories to talk about from TFcon. You're going to see a lot of cool stuff, guys. Again, I want to thank all the people who came by the booth. I tried my best. No joke, guys. I was like putting Post-its on every single gift I was given because I wanted to give thanks to everyone. There's one that I'm not sure 100% the name, so I apologize because some stuff got mixed up in the suitcase, but I think I got the name, so I'm going to make sure. But yeah, so first we'll go into sponsors. Let's talk about, of course, my boys, Symbiote Studios, plush pins and t-shirts. The new Sludge is out on the website. Go check that out. They got the new pony stuff too. They put a whole bunch of brand new My Little Pony stuff. The Grimlock is out. Also, we got the reissue of the Bumblebee is out. We got Hot Rod chilling back there. We got the Sludge. Why don't you have a Canadian Slag podcast or Transformer Slag podcast Sludge yet? All of the goodness. Go check them all out. There's a whole bunch of new stuff planned for next year. Man, there's one that they got planned that, like, when we were at San Diego Comic-Con, I want to say it was my wife that pitched it, and it was like a slam dunk idea that's like, geez, that's going to print money. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. And, yeah, all the other good stuff. Hey, man, the pony stuff they got there. I mean, I'm not a My Little Pony person, but man, they got a lot of pony stuff. That what you're looking at there doesn't even scratch the surface of what they got. That stuff sells out like crazy. Power Rangers, GI Joe, like a lot of video game stuff. Oh, went a little too fast into the future. But yeah, check them out again. SymbioteStudios.com, the ultimate sponsor of this podcast. And then of course we got the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. We have 2 new segments up. One of them was more just if you weren't able to be at TFcon this past weekend, Cringe McCringle recorded our panel, and so we uploaded both the panel and this segment that you're looking at here, our review of Transformers 1, more so Aaron's review and his deep inside baseball feelings of it from a business standpoint. Where do you go from here? Why didn't it do so well? Like we not your typical surface level kind of review like you probably were hearing from a lot of people who are more just distant fans at best. This is more from a business standpoint, and dare I say, we're hearing from someone that was very much a part of those first couple of Transformer Michael Bay movies, so to hear his perspective is very valuable. So check that out. And again, Aaron has some brand. Oh, well, we'll talk about Baltimore again. If you came by Aaron Arthur's booth, thank you for coming by and picking up some beautiful art, which you're going to see in a moment because there's some new art added to the website, as well as unfortunately this book was not available, and I put the wrong slide because it still says Baltimore. I should have put LA, but it will be available at TFcon LA. It's available on the website right now, archermonster.com/shop. So we apologize that Volume 3 was not available at Baltimore, but it will be available at LA. So stay tuned for that. Plastic Passion Reviews, thank you for joining. Mr. Bumblebot, also thank you for joining. 2 Solar Cycles, be darned. Hello to all. And then, of course, he has a whole bunch of new additions to archermonster.com/shop of the Posca paintings. Go check those out. Like I always say, they're one of a kind. So if you sleep on it and it's gone, that's it, guys. So go get them. There's a lot more there than what I have here. This is just all I could fit into the image in full size. So a lot more. There's some Lego ones too. That I don't know why people aren't getting those Lego ones. They look so cool. I swear I want to find like a Spyrius instruction sheet just so I can make Aaron draw Spyrius stuff. Man, good stuff. But yeah, check those out. Again, archermonster.com/shop and the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Where are we at here? Please make Inferno. Well, you got to ask him. Why Lag Why? That was a great segment panel. Love all the design artwork. Yeah, well, that was the big thing. That was like what I wanted to accomplish with it, and that was kind of the theme. And I kept like kind of pushing that is wanting to show people how a toy is made from beginning to end. Like Aaron's, you know, napkin scribbles, so to speak, all the way to retail product that's in your hand, like in every step along the way. That's why we showed molds. That's why we showed all kinds of crazy stuff along the way. I mean, he even said there was some things we were still kind of missing, and I felt we had so much already. So it was pretty crazy. We got a gold super chat from Kevin PH. Thank you, Kevin. Why do Transformers with alt modes like tanks and hover tanks and cars no longer come with tiny wheels? It's something I've always noticed in recent years and always started to bother me. Well, you know what? It's a cultural thing. It's a cultural holdover. Like Back to the Future came out and kind of like signified that, and also you could even say like the Jetsons with Hanna-Barbera, but it's like the future or something that's futuristic equals no wheels, no traction, no wheels, floating cars, floating this. And Back to the Future, it's like, hey, floating skateboards, floating cars, even though that's all like a air traffic control nightmare. I can't even imagine in a world where that would exist. It would have to be low floating cars, something that can't break a certain height. But it's always been, that they always kind of go in that direction. And I mean, when you're talking Transformers, it's war. And ask anyone who knows war, tanks are the ultimate weapon. I have a friend who's like a huge, huge person in the Gundam community. Shout out to Lou. He's like the man in the Gundam community. And one of the big, big figures in our Gundam community here in Montreal on the East Coast. And Lou even says it himself. He's like, Gundams in real life would not work properly because a tank would just shoot one of those legs out easily. Because tanks, they're low, they're good at taking hits, because they're low to the ground, they can take a good hit, they're armored. So tanks are like the ultimate war machine. And then you add to the fact like hovering, futuristic stuff. It's peanut butter and jam work together well. And then you add that cultural element again, Jetsons, everything's flying, everything's in the air. You don't know who's in the frame of like Fluro Deary probably was one of the individuals designing those alt modes, you know? And it's something where I feel Fluro Deary probably was inspired by those things. Fluro Deary really loved Super Robot stuff. He really loved like Go Nagai kind of creations, and that's why like when you look at like the later movie designs and everything like that of the hot rods, the RCs, the Ultra Magnus, which actually became Orion Pax. Look that up; it's very weird. A lot of inspiration from those. Dimos, Zambo Ace. I'm trying to think of a few others that he pulled from, but I know Dimos and Zambo Ace were two really big ones. So hope that kind of unloads that question just a little bit. Grant Brown, Archer art is awesome. It's amazing art. It's amazing, amazing art. I have some here today as well as many other things. Aaron did quite well that weekend. Quite well. I love the best was we'll get into it. We'll get into it afterwards. We got a lot of good stories. We got a lot of good stories today. So, but bring the super chats on and we'll just I don't know. There's no order to do this because it's all just there's so much. So we'll just kind of just grab whatever and talk about it. So one of the first things you might have saw this on my Twitter. Uh, I had to get a piece of art from Mark Watts. Mark Watts was responsible for a good chunk of the 84 and 85 box art. Um, Very unique art style, very unique individual to say the least. I actually love talking to him. Um, Here's a fun fact. This is probably the first time he's ever done a commission in his life. So I got an autograph from him in a piece where I love Shockwave. He's my favorite Decepticon, and the fact that he did the box art was wild. And I asked him, "Hey, could you draw like just the head there, right?" And he didn't understand what I was asking. I was like, "Could you just like you see this little hexagon here with the little Could you just just draw that?" He didn't really understand the idea of commissions. He did no commissions that weekend, and I was trying to convince his handler, which was his nephew, I think it was. You gotta tell him to do because I asked Mark like before we went to the show on like the Sunday. I was like, how long does it take you to draw? Let's say if you had to draw a bumblebee like sketch. He's like, I don't know, 15 minutes. And I was like, dude, people would love that. People would pay for that, you know. So hopefully, if he'll be at LA or a future show, let's say he's in Toronto, let's say he's in Chicago after that. Hopefully he'll start doing commissions because I was able to squeeze one out of him as best I could. Yeah. I got to get this frame. This thing is awesome. And even he has the little thing on the back. He had the coolest booth that weekend. I got to give him, although, I would have kind of simplified it, but it was a very cool booth that weekend. So shout out to him. He probably did very well and all good for him. Aaron, I remember you said something. You said like he doesn't, someone like him wouldn't even really understand commissions because he's from a whole other world or something. So, I mean, you would know better than me. You're the art guy. So, but I love his stuff. It was awesome, absolutely awesome. And thank you for the little sketch, Mark. Thank you, thank you. He had prints of everything. He had like a Jetfire, Jazz, like the Autobot mini bots from like the first couple of waves. Like he had everything. I know I'm forgetting like Roadbuster. There's a good photo I posted think I posted it. Oh, maybe it was on my Discord, but it was just a photo of his booth because I took a really nice photo of his booth when I think he wasn't there yet. And it was just gorgeous. Just had everything there on display. Great stuff. Devastator individual limbs. Like just he was a machine, man. He was a machine. It should be his name on the Transformers Legacy art book, not Jim. Might as well we'll give some love to good old Mark. One moment. There we go. That book there, which should not have Mr. Sorensen's name on it and Bill Forrester. What the? It should have. Yeah, look at first page. Bam, bam. Look at that. That's all Mark, baby. That's all Mark. Look at that. Well, not all of it. I don't think the Cosmos was him, but a lot of these are good stuff. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Uh, let's see. Where are we at? Where are we at? That's a cool print. Well, thank you, my friend. He had a lot of cool prints, and I hope to actually probably in the future maybe get more from him because that's a really high quality one. I got to find a good frame for that because I want to like hang that up somewhere. Like I'm very happy with that because like I love Shockwave. Love Shockwave. Always been a personal favorite of mine. So let's get into some more gifts. Butters, you got to this one. Jeez. So got some gifts. What else do we got here? Oh man, I have to go upstairs to grab something maybe afterwards. So this was a T-shirt that was given to me. There's this cool hot rod shirt. I promised him that I'd wear it back on the Sunday, and I did on the flight back to Montreal. Very cool hot rod shirt. Uh, the individual did not leave his name, But he did leave these cards here, which also have Hot Rod and Shattered Glass Hot Rod. So I'll just give him a quick shout out there. Very cool. Thank you so much for the shirt, my man. Cool Hot Rod shirt. Um, he does not have a Hot Rod. Mark didn't do the Hot Rods box art. He did not do the box art for Hot Rod. Then we got this one here. This was another gift from a fan. Gave me a sticker of Hot Rod and then a one of those like acrylic stand figures, and I like that it's like the arc there, or it actually should have been the shuttle, but whatever, it could be the arc or the shuttle of Hot Rod. Very, very cool, both the sticker of that, and that was from Darwin Rose Studios. So give them a shout out. Put their socials up there for a moment. Check out theirs. They also did pillows too. I only saw that afterwards. I didn't get to go around the show that much, so free shout out for them. Go check them out too. Thank you so much for that. They know what they do. If you give a free gift, you get shout outs. I'm just joking. They're good people. They're good people. Good people. What else we got here? Oh, this is a good one. So this was he couldn't be at the show, but he got one of his friends to bring it to me. This is a Bruticus 82. Gave me a bunch of stuff. So here's a from Clyde, aka Bruticus. Oh, 42. Excuse me, 42. I thought 82. He's definitely wasn't born in 1942, but so he gave me this beautiful painting here of the man himself's chest. You see in the theme here of gifts, you know. He gave me a whole bunch of trading cards. Supposedly it's from his cosplay crew that he hangs out with and stuff. So they all have like trading cards of their cosplay and stuff. So that's pretty cool. A lot of GI Joe cosplay. Who's the Baroness on that one? Gave me a really cool G2 Decepticon belt buckle. That's pretty awesome. And then someone knows with the patches here. Gave me a whole bunch of patches. So this shark one, I'm not familiar. What is this from? Is this at first I thought it was the Sierra logo, but I don't know what this patch is from. Anyone, if they know, they could help me out with that. This one's cool. It's Ghostbusters, but it's Clyde the Ghost from Pac-Man from the cartoon series from Hanna-Barbera. That's going to go on my future video game jacket. This one that he gave me, Godzilla King of the Monsters. Yeah. So it's going to find a place on the back there somewhere, next to Reptar maybe. So very cool with that one. That'll definitely find a place. And of course, gave a Decepticon emblem. I know where that's going. That's going to go on a future one too. I have more than one jacket of these stickers and stuff. Whole bunch of cool things, pins. Very, very cool. Sorry, I'm trying to put everything aside here. Very, very cool. Oh, is it from Tiger Sharks? That short run series that came after Thundercats. Okay, I didn't know that was the Tiger Sharks logo. Tiger Sharks. Who's got a tiger by the tail? I didn't know they had an emblem. You always know the Thundercats emblem. I didn't know Tiger Sharks had an emblem. Very, very cool. Tiger Sharks. Yeah, that King of the Monsters one is awesome. Oh, and this too. This is also like a custom from like one of his conventions that he did. He did like a custom droid from Star Wars. So that's pretty cool too, with a little sticker in there and everything. So that's gonna go in the old Star Wars collection. We'll have a Star Trek collection. What else do we got? How should I do this? We'll do this one. You guys might have saw this also on my Insta. Blockies was the name of the game this weekend, and there was a third party Blocky. This one here, very very cool. This is the what's it called here? Strong Ball. So this was from Paul at CollectorCon. So check out CollectorCon. He has a website where he says apparently he has a few of these still for sale on collectorcon.com. So if you are interested, they did not sell out. They were limited to 24. So there's a few on the website still. So check that. Very, very cool. Thank you, Paul. This wasn't a gift. This maybe I'll save this for after. This was something I actually bought for myself this weekend. What else? What else? This was a cool one. Shout out to Starlock from Udon and the crew. Some metal Mega Man cards. Very, very cool. Mega Man, Mega Man. And you got a Street Fighter one there too. These are very, very cool. Very, very cool. The Blanca one. I mained Blanca in SNK versus Capcom 2 and 1. So, well, Blanco was pretty broken in it, so probably not fair. But yeah, very cool metal cards of Mega Man from Starlock. Again, I try to write down everyone's names to make sure I don't forget everybody. What else do we got? I got a sticker here, cool little sticker. That's probably from Return of Optimus Prime Part 2. No More Death from the Hate Plague from this individual. I want to say it's Ori Robinot at Robinot. So again, shout out to them. Very cool. Thank you, sir. Matrix Love. I don't know who gave me this Star Blazer pin. Someone gave me a Star Blazer pin, aka Battleship Yamato. I don't know, but shout out to them. Thank you for the Star Blazer pin. Very, very cool. Nice quality though. It's like almost like a wood kind of finish to it. Very, very nice. Very cool. I hope Aaron got a Star Blazer pin too. Let's see what else. This is from Alan Grant. He gave me this sealed Micro Machine-esque kind of mini car thing where you could mess with the tires and stuff. And it's funny because it has a sticker from KB Toys under it there. Look at that. And then it had another sticker put on top of it. This is from 1988 from Nasta, still on the card. With the wheel there and everything. Very cool. Very nice. Thank you, Alan. Very awesome. Gosh, what else? What else? Ugh. It's a lot of crap. A lot of cool stuff. Oh, I probably should look here. Godzilla Transformers horrible. I think they should have done a new head for that Grimlock. I'll agree with you there. Speaking of cards, thanks for the hookup for some of the Caillou TF. Yeah, hey, no problem, man. People were loving the cards that weekend. People were loving those cards. I'm gonna bring them to LA because, I mean, people wanted more and more of those. They really did. They really, really did. So I'm gonna try to make sure we got more for LA and stuff because they're kind of sold out everywhere, unfortunately. Where are we at? Cringe McCringle hooked me up with some more of the skate ones. I wanted this one because it actually looks like Soundwave, or some of the others. Like the Optimus one's cool. Michael Koo got me some of those, but like how is that Starscream? How is that okay, maybe that one could pass for Bumblebee. But I mean the Soundwave one is the nicest kicks, even though red's my color, but like that looks cool for Soundwave. So very awesome with those. And then he also got me from Ollie's because I want to just have all the reissues super cheap. These were, I think, $10 each. So I got these two from Cringe McCringle. And then we got some beautiful art from Mr. Archer. So I got a Classics Rodimus, aka Hot Rod Posca painting that I have no idea. Maybe, yeah, I could probably find a frame of this size, a smaller one. Maybe I have to go to Winners or Marshalls. They probably have something that size, smaller one. But yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. Thank you, Mr. Archer. And then, let's see what else. I want to make sure also got this from Cringe McCringle. I was never found the Jada movie Hot Rod locally here, so he managed to get me that one with the cool opening engine bay and engine bay in the back there for the Lambo, and then the boot in the front. Very cool. And then it also came with the collector coin, French Canadian speaking hot rod, which again, I am not responsible for that. Oh God, did I get so much crap for that? People left that movie and I got so many private messages. Why is hot rod French Canadian? It makes no sense. Also got this from Cringe McCringle, a Godzilla. What was it, the R32 or is it the R34? It doesn't say. R33, excuse me, Skyline. So that's the one with the classic art there. Very cool. Thank you for that. Cringe. Here's something so all of this that I said, so what did you buy that weekend, Proto Man? What did you actually spend money on? The two things here, which isn't much. Are those Ken shoes? I have no idea what are Ken shoes. They're just small shoes that are with the skate series. Should have more cases next week. I hope so. Hope so. Hope we get some good stuff. So this is what I actually bought. I bought this during one of the parts parties that were in the bar. Anyone who knows web divers, this is one of the few items I actually got because I didn't have this one. It's one of the more obscure items. It's the non-transforming product that's more like PVC figures and everything. So it's just that of Gladion and Jaguaron, and it's just really cool. And I like web divers. It's kind of a funky kind of toy line and series, and it's a very product of its time. Plug and play elements, bad CG used on cell animation that's pretty dated, but it's still cool. I dig the designs. In another world, that's Optimus Prime, Megatron, and Cheetor. Train Optimus Prime, boat Dragon, Megatron, and Cheetor the car. So very cool, very very cool. So I was just happy to get it. I think I paid $20 for this, $20. So I was very happy to pick that up. And then my big purchase of the weekend, which give me one moment because I want to get something for context. One moment, guys. Butters, why don't you go and entertain people? So, Richard Maraj, I am pronouncing that name wrong, probably, was one of the guests at TFcon. And he's someone that I'm going to be talking to more in the future because I did not realize how much work he's done in the industry that relates to stuff I like. He's worked on Cops, Fighting Crime in a Future Time as the box artist, Army Ants, Inhumanoids, Visionaries. I know I'm forgetting things. Battle Beasts. You know, wait, where's Battle Beast? Where's Battle Beast? Oh, there it is. Battle Beasts. You know, but one thing that he did Gremlins toys. So he had a huge stack of his original art, and when he showed it to me, and this was before the show, I told him, I'm like, look, I'm going to be honest with you. This stuff is worth a lot of money. I don't think you should put it on the table and sell it. I think you should kind of look into it first and then maybe sell on eBay. That's what I told him. It ended up still on the table. And then Aaron went and bought a piece of art. And then I went, uh-oh, this stuff's going to disappear. And on top of all the other stuff he's done, which by the way, I'm going to go out of my way. I'm going to be talking with him soon. I'm going to be sending him a bunch of images, and we're going to figure out every single G1 box art he did because he did a lot. And the TF Wiki has everything wrong on there. So we're going to get a nice juicy list, and it's going to be updated, and then we'll know every single one that he's done. And even we're going to find out the identities of some of the other G1 box art that he didn't do and who did those ones. So he's going to be a very important figure later on for information gathering, but I digress. So he had something there. So let me just show you some. So these are the original uh, early 1980s Nintendo trophy figures. Some of the very first figures of Nintendo merchandise, aside from the Applause PVCs. This is a sealed Zelda one here. And they were very simple, just little kind of, like figure statue kind of stuff that would depict a scene from either Zelda or Punch Out or Super Mario. And then you could kind of put your high score there. Oh, you got your high score. So it could be your trophy of your high score that you would get in a game. That was kind of the gimmick. On the back of it, it would give a cross sell of some of the other ones that were available Super Mario, Punch Out, or otherwise, right? And they were all done in like this monochrome, just yellow and black and white writing. He has them all. And here they are in color, the original art. This is how they were supposed to look in full color, full size. You could barely see it on there. So he had this. He had the Mario one. This is the actual base of the trophy. I got him to sign that one. And this one's awesome. the Peach and the Bowser, or in this case was Princess Toadstool back then. The only ones I left behind were the Punch Out ones. I took all the Mario ones, which were these ones, and I took the Zelda ones. And yeah, so to know that there was full color art of these, man, damn, wish he had more. I spent a lot of money on those, but I didn't care. Easily over $100. But yeah, man, when I saw those, I flipped out. So those were really, really cool. Those were really, really, really cool. And these are like pieces of history. And I hope to, I'm going to try to take nice photos of these so that the collecting community can know that these exist in full color. What I'm going to probably do is I'm going to take nice scans of my boxes and then just to kind of show the side by side of like, hey man, like, look at that stuff. Look at that. Look at Bowser with his green belly because he never had that, and a Princess Toadstool that had still the strawberry blonde hair before she was completely blonde. All those early design hiccups from back in the day. Very, very cool. But yeah, King Koopa, Bowser, King Koopa. And then the last thing we're gonna. So I get back from TFcon, and I went to Dollarama, which is our version of like dollar stores or Family Dollar, Family Tree Dollar, or whatever you guys have in the States. And they had the wackiest set of bootlegs I have ever seen. So they took, I'll show the first one first. So here's Robo Animal Transforms. Robo Animal, $5 Canadian, so about 350 American. They took the Cheetor mold, and it has a brand new head sculpt on there too. It's kind of hard to see. It's like some kind of like insect face. They took the Cheetor mold. They gave him like a weapon that's much more like a bigger axe, and he also, it's hard to see, he comes with. See, here's in a different color scheme, and it comes with also the blaster. So, and these are a little oversized too. They're more in that Voyager scale. Actually, let me get Tigatron there. Yeah, it's kind of like Tigatron size. So it's almost like a Voyager scale. It's about the same. So, but it doesn't end there, right? So this is obviously, a snow leopard kind of going with the Night Stalker color scheme, but using red with a brand new head sculpt, new weapon sculpting and everything. Very, very cool. But then, so they did this in this color and Cheetor's colors. But then they did Tigatron, which again, you'll see there's a different box. So now it has, see, a leopard to a tiger. It's a different box art. Okay. And same thing. So they did Tigatron. Tigatron has this like Optimus Prime looking face on him. Very weird head sculpt there. And then on the back too, because they also did the Tony the Tiger colors. So you could get that Tony the Tiger mutant Tigatron, which was available, but I wanted the Tigatron one because it had that Optimus Prime head on it. But then here's where it gets even more weird. So you get the Cheetor sculpt. Okay. Cheetor head sculpt, that existed. You get the Tigatron one with the Tigatron sculpt. Okay, that existed. But then they did Lio Convoy? What? And again, a brand new head sculpt, very weird head on there. So they took the Cheetor mold or the Tigatron and they did a Lio Convoy. Very weird. Same thing. Look at the weapon. See, like that one's an axe, that one's more of the pick. So traditional. Lio Convoy. And again, there's an alternate color that you could buy. So there's 6 in total in a traditional lion color. Or you could call it Lio Convoy Jr., I guess, or Prowl. So I took photos of all of these. They're on my phone. I'm gonna post these on Twitter. So you'll see the whole line of these. These are out right now at Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, Dollarama here in Canada. Very weird. $3.50 in the States, $5 here in Canada. Very weird bootlegs. I like stuff like this because it's all brand new tooling going on here. This is all new tooling. Like the weapon's a new tooling, the face is a new tooling, the head is a new tooling. Very, very weird. And they're all Voyager scale. So, and this one's a Lio Convoy paint scheme. So very bizarre. So needless to say, my journey of Transformers was not over when the con was over. Nice meeting you too. Full Metal Slater. Guillaume, is it based on G1 Beast Wars? What are you talking about? These? What are you talking about? These guys? It's based off of the Kingdom mold from Tigatron. It looks like more than anything. T-Formers 2002. Wait, stop everything. I need that Lio convoy. Yeah, well, it's out right now. I took the last of the Lio convoy. It's like they had one case, and it had. Where's my phone? One moment, guys. Actually, hold on a second. I think I have it on my phone too, because I was taking pictures of it because they were like. One moment. Let me see if I can get it. Took a bunch of photos a couple weeks ago. So, I mean, it's based off of the Kingdom mold. So here, oh, it's all messed up, but so there's the Tigatron, and of course we're going to get a glare, so there's no way in hell we're going to see it nicely. There's the traditional colored, there you go, of the lion. There is that one. And then there's the Cheetor colors. I'll post nice photos of these, like, because I took a whole bunch of really nice photos of like the backs and everything. So you'll get to see all of that really good afterwards. But yeah, so got those two. Yeah, a lot of stuff. A lot of crazy stuff, to say the least. A lot of crazy stuff. But um yeah, so needless to say, I didn't buy much at TFcon, but it was more just the fun, the stories. I loved meeting the artists. I mean, there was just a lot of really cool stuff. Um, like there was again, Richard being next to us we had Richard to the right of us, we had Bob Budiansky to the left of us. So it was like a nice little mix. And then if you go past Richard, there was Alex Milne, and then you had Mark Watts in the corner. So it was this nice little creative corner of all these guys who have done stuff. Yeah, they are Montoys. Montoys is the I guess we call it the home brand of bootlegs at Dollarama. You know, they're I guess we'll call it their off brand. Yeah, that's what I said. I said the regular line could be Lio Convoy Jr. or Prowl. You could see it like that. It doesn't have the blue head, but has a unique. They all have unique head sculpts that are not like the Cheetor or Tigatron head sculpts. So that's what's kind of cool about them, you know. But very very cool. But yeah, it was a great weekend. A lot of fun stuff. A lot of just meeting people. Like I'd go down to the bar just to look for somebody, and then I just get like wrapped up into a conversation with people, and then you'd be there for 3 hours just talking. So it happens. I talk a lot, so but it was fun. It was very, very fun. One of the funnier moments, I want to find that photo. One of the funnier moments was when security showed up and then posted this sign in the bar. No sales allowed in the lobby. I guess they got fed up with people selling in the bar and stuff, so they put up a sign. I thought that was kind of funny. Um, it's like they're like, get out of here, quit selling stuff. This isn't a garage sale, because there was a lot of people like taking over tables and just making makeshift, you know, dealer tables in a sense over the weekend. Parts parties are fine. Like, parts parties are fine. Like the cork board is up there for a reason. That's how I always feel you should do it. Make a parts party, get your sign out there. I do them. I do them at Toronto, and have your own little parties. Everyone could go to your room and buy stuff. I think those are more fun and intimate. They're cool. So that's one way to go about it. But it was very fun. The one I liked the most was just there's a lot of dealers that do the USA shows that I only see through the USA shows that were like, regulars at every BotCon for years. And, you know, it's good seeing those guys as much as possible, so it was great. It was great. Uh, T-Formers 2002. Hey, Proto, we did get more images of the blocky defenders full wave. Scavenger, Bumblebee, Ironhide, and Shattered Glass Prime. I guess the Shattered Glass Prime is probably the chase, I would imagine. I knew Starscream wasn't going to be part of it because if Thundercracker's there, they're going to probably save him for a future wave. Who's the alt modes? So Scavenger, Bumblebee, Ironhide, and Shatterglass Prime. Who are the alt mode ones then, T-Formers? Because they mentioned that there'd be alt modes, but there'd be two others. Who are the two others? Unless the two others are one of those guys. I don't know. because I'm kind of curious about him. There wasn't enough information, but I guess we'll have something to report on Monday if there's some nice juicy images as well as other things. Scavenger, okay, Bumblebee, yeah, that kind of makes sense for Bumblebee. But Scavenger, that's an interesting one. I guess maybe to celebrate again, 2025 is going to be celebrating 40 years of Devastator, and that's kind of going to be the overall celebration theme for 2025. So we'll probably see more of that. Joseph Ritter, Joseph Ryder with the YouTube member question. TFcon 2025, here we come. Found Bombshell at Ross. Oh, did you? What did you pay for that? Bombshell goes for good money, if I remember correctly. Really? At Ross? What'd you pay for that, Joseph? I'd pay some Ross cheap Bombshell. I ain't paying full MSRP for deluxes at that price, but a Ross price, why not? And does that confirm, Joseph, that you will be at TFCon 2025 in LA? $9.99. Damn. Yo, I'll pay that. I paid that for these boys. Which again, thank you, Cringe, for the hookup. I wanted to get, like, I have all of these guys brand new. So I just wanted to get these carded just so I could like hang them on the wall. Because all of these when like Pterosaur, like I got the original Pterosaur, non-Rocky Bubble packaging. I got it Christmas of, geez, when did Leisure Suit Larry 7 come out? 97, 98? Christmas of either 97 or 98. Teared them off. I kept the card back, but teared off throughout the bubble and then took good care of him. And he sits in my display all these years later. But like, now to have them nice and carded and smooth looking good, hang them on the wall and again, hang them on walls where you're not wasting wall space, doorways. I always say if you're going to hang a poster or if you're going to hang like a carded figure, put it on a door. Like put a pin on the door and put it on a door or something where like you're not wasting shelving space that could be a wall. You're doing LA. All right, we're going to talk in the future then because LA's where it's at, yo. LA's the biggest show of the year. So we're going to have to talk displays and stuff. James, those reissues are all over Ollie's. Yep, well that's just it. Cringe got him at Ollie's. He hooked up a brother. I would suggest if you had to buy one, because Cringe showed me the other ones, but I already got the other ones. But if you could get K9, of all the reissues they've put out thus far, K9's the best one. Like that is such a great mold that people slept on back then, and they don't realize how good a figure that is. It's a German Shepherd Transformer that comes with a shield with like rib cage missiles and a gun and like a cool articulation and great transformation. What a great figure, and totally should have been in the show. Totally should have been. I know Wolfang was supposed to be Tigatron, then they went with Tigatron in the end, but yeah. But if you could pick up K9 for like $10, go for it. Goodness, that's a steal. I think complete K9s at one point before the reissues were going for like $40, $50. So T-Formers 2002 on the way home from Baltimore stopped by Ollie's and found the Mutant Mayhem Turtles for $6 a piece. Oh, that's not bad. It's not bad. What were those? Those were like $14.99, if I remember correctly. Ollie's is where it's at, man. Cringe McCringle Jurassic Park sets are all over Ollie's too. Yeah, those are really good. I got to get me a Transformer Newman, or was it Dennis Nedry? Was his character's name? T-Formers 2000 K9 is the only one that doesn't seem to be around. Can't find them anywhere, but the others are plentiful. Well, I mean, look, Wolfang is a retool of. Well, actually, K9 is technically the retooling of Wolfang, but Wolfang gives you a similar experience. But I just find the K9 has the better, like it has different tooling and it's way better. I just think it looks cooler. But I mean, if you can't, the more Batman-esque kind of Wolfang's going. Wolfang, a lot of people would joke if you lose his mask, he kind of looks like the Tick because he has like a big chin and a blue head and a silver face. So now you won't be able to unsee that. Joey's only gripe I have with K9 is that the missile ribs are now loose due to the mold degradation. But yeah, best reissue ever. Yeah, I out of all the reissues we've gotten, and I'm not saying like you can see these are the reissues here that were done by Telemocha, but like the Primal is good, the Megatron are cool, like those are great molds too. But Like people slept on K9 back in the 90s. Like that was such a great mold. Like, there was a lot of ones that weren't good that were non-show, like, Jetstorm, who cares about that? Look, Retracts got reissued. Retracts, I don't care. I know like people love him because they hate him. He's like one of those we hate him so much we love him figures. But Retracts, it's like, really? You were gonna reissue Retracts? And there's so many other way better deluxes that we got during Beast Wars you could have reissued instead. But I guess maybe they wanted to get that Retracts trademark locked in for a future Kingdom toy. Who knows? I mean, Retracts was on. I think he was on Black Arachnia's sticker card with Kingdom. He was on there, so maybe there was plans at one point. If Kingdom was successful, they would have made more. Who knows? Who knows? Would have to ask. I guess John was still. John was on the first half of Kingdom. I don't know about the second half. That probably would have been Evan or Mark, and maybe I think. I want to say Lanny was probably still on it too. Sarah, I'm still waiting for my Voyager Pterosaur. I don't consider that deluxe Air Razor mold canon. Well, I mean, in my opinion, I'm still waiting for it to be a masterpiece because if you're someone who loves Beast Wars, I mean, you got to get those masterpieces. Those Yuki Ashima designed masterpieces of Beast Wars are just the greatest of the greatest. The only one you have to worry about a little bit is Tigatron, so you don't scratch his head sculpt. What everyone suggests is when you get the toy, take Tigatron's head and screw it off and like take it off of the figure before you transform it and then put it back because he has a ton of paint on his face and it's going to scratch very easily when you transform him. Where are we at here? I don't want to miss any questions. If you got super chats, guys, you could super chat them too. Cringe McCringle, I would have taken Tripredacus over Retracts. Well, I mean, if we let's say we stuck to deluxe, because Tripredacus would have been a big box setty kind of thing, and Lord knows Tripredacus. Let's see, if he was an ultra class price point, was he? I think he was sharing the same price point as Primal. It would have been that same price, and then he would have been liquidated just as quickly without being a named character. So I think Tripredacus would have been a better bet. I mean, not a better bet, but I mean, if you think in deluxes, I mean, geez, there's so many cool ones. Like wouldn't you have wanted like, man, how could you not do those transmetals? But even if they want to stay in like the pre transmetal era, like Man Terror is cool. Jetstorm has that water spray gimmick that's kind of cool. There were some fun ones. Man Terror had those like discs that come out of the hands. A lot of good stuff. A lot of really good stuff. Like Retracts, man, what a weird choice. The only Beast Wars reissue I would go for is Insecticon, says Ashnud. Insecticon is another amazing figure that's in that basic price point. Very cool. Great articulation. Then has that opening thorax where the guns are stored and it clips together to make that bow weapon. So cool. Like those early Kenner Beast Wars toys were just mm, mm, something else. And again, yeah, do Insecticon. But you know why they didn't do Insecticon? Because they don't have to do Insecticon as a trademark because they already had a whole bunch of Insecticons with Bombshell and then where they probably went, well, we got to do something with that. Got to do something with that trademark. It's like, hey, remember what we did in Legacy, the first wave? Well, it's expiring soon. All right, we got to do something with that trademark, Iguanas. So I think that's really, sometimes what's going on behind the scenes, the choices that are made. Cringe McCringle, imagine a non-clear plastic Inferno reissue, and why I always tell everyone to just buy the Kingdom Inferno. Do not ever buy an original Inferno. I have bought and sold maybe 5 or 6 original Beast Wars Infernos from 97, 96, 97, and I think 2 of them had busted like the arm joint here was busted because of the clear plastic. That did not age well, that figure. And what's even more sad is Antagony, get it? Antagony. She suffers from the same problem. So imagine buying like $1,000 Bakon exclusive, transforming it once, and then it fucking I just swore, and then it just shattering. You know, like just shattering. Like, and I've seen stories of that where people have bought it and opened it. Like, my goodness, and that's why I just buy the original like buy the excuse me, not the Kingdom. It was a Hasbro Pulse Antagony. Just buy that one. Just buy that one. T-Formers 2002 Armadillo is a fun mold. Another one, great. It has those little feet that become guns. Razor Beast is amazing. I mean, Will Smith loves Razor Beast. He's been looking for him since October. Polar Claw. I don't know why he wasn't in the show. That's how good that toy is. That mutant head is cool. The bat gimmick is cool. The catcher claw arm. I just did a post on Polar Claw not too long ago on my Instagram of all the cool Polar Claw merch that exists throughout the years. So many great ones. So many great ones. Will Murphy, off topic, but I just finished a custom Nerf Galvatron. Wonder what that looks like. I guess you have something that looks like a cannon. Well, Galvatron had a handgun mode, at least his toy did. But yeah. No, there's a lot. There's a lot of really good Beast Wars toys. And it's a shame because, like, I mean, let's be real. Let's be freaking real. Like, those reissues did not sell at all. Every single one of those reissues went on clearance. I think which one didn't go on clearance? I'm trying to think. Optimus went on clearance. Megatron went on clearance. Rat Trap went on Black Friday. Get it out of here clearance. Cheetor went on clearance. Scorponok went on clearance. Now we got all these guys down here. They all went on clearance. Who am I forgetting? Did any of them ever not be found on clearance? Because it was just like, it felt like that whole reissue line was Snakebit. It was just like terribly put out there. No one was buying them brand new. And I think the biggest reason why these didn't sell well was you're selling a basic price point at a deluxe price point, and then on top of that being heavily reminded that what qualifies as plastic, budget and price pointing for 1995 and 96 does not pass for today. So, like, maybe not this guy here, but like Pterosaur is a better example. You can barely see it, but Pterosaur, they had to remove paint from his arms just to kind of, if they could, like, okay, maybe we like remove two, deco hits here. We could, make the budget a little less and we could kind of squeeze this in. And then all of this sold very poorly and became fodder for Ollies. And I'm pretty sure Hasbro's like, yeah, we're not doing that again. So that's the end of that. T-Formers 2002. Speaking of trademarks, Transformer TCG is doing Beast Machines. Is that a good sign of later toy updates? Well, number one, you're not talking about the TCG. You're talking about the deck building game. And when it comes to that kind of stuff, unfortunately, that does not happen with trademarks. So what happens with, I have them all here, by the way. So what happens with those is the only thing that's trademarked is the box itself, so the Transformers. And if they use something as the subtext, let me grab one here. Hope it doesn't fall, knock over the camera. There we go. So here's one of them, deck building game. I got to work on these. What was this one called? War for Cybertron. Gee, is that a trademark that we're familiar with? What was the other one called? Dawn of the Dinobots. That was a comic book title. Combiner Wars. That was another one. So, needless to say, the individual cards do not do anything for. I'm gonna put it back because I'm worried I'm gonna knock over the camera. It's literally right next to the camera. So, it is what it is. Did we get a super chat question? Where's the super chat question? I didn't see a super chat question. Would have popped up. Either way, but yeah, it's just something where it doesn't apply for that. It has to be an individual product that's trademarked, that's individually sold. That's why, like, I mean, the best example I always give is the argument that came with Bumblebee, the DC superhero female character versus the Transformer character. The DC superhero female character was in a comic book. Teen Titans, the comic book, is trademarked. Inside the comic book, any of those characters are not trademarked. They have to have the way that you trademark the character. And this is what happened in the 90s and the 80s, because they were like, they're going to trademark She-Hulk. So we got to make a comic book to trademark She-Hulk. Oh, we got to trademark Wonder Man because, Wonder Woman. Oh no, like someone's going to trademark Robin. We got to give Robin his own individual comic book. Cyclops get his own individual. Marvel Presents back in the late 70s, early 80s was notorious for that because it was like, we got to do these things because we got to trademark these characters because of that. It's, the classic Marvel line. We made these miniseries because you demanded it. Half true. We need to trademark Wolverine before someone else does, Luckily, they had a Secret Wars toy line and everything that also helps, but there's a lot of that red weird tape and stuff that goes on. So it's the same thing. Even though, female DC superhero Bumblebee predates G1 Bumblebee by many years, she wasn't a product. She never had a figurine. She never had this. She was just a character featured in the Teen Titans and later New Titans comic book by George Perez. Um, so, where Bumblebee was a product, trademarked in 1983. You could even find the patent online. It's out there in the U.S. Patent Office. They get it. They get it. And that's why they won that case ultimately in the end, because when the Bumblebee movie came out all those years ago, the DC Superheroes High line, what was it called? DC Superheroes, DC Superhero Girls, whatever was that line. There was a ton of Bumblebee product, and they didn't want to have that confusion, even though they're technically in two different toy aisles. But again, Hasbro's going to want to protect their properties, so I don't blame them really in that much. Sarah says the reissues didn't sell well because the Beast Era fans only had 3 options to buy: original, Masterpiece, or Kingdom. The Kingdom animals sold well because we are hungry for new stuff. Yeah, but I mean, that doesn't stop, the G1 stuff from selling. I mean, did you, if you want like a pink hot rod, you had multiple options and people bought them all. Mr. Bumblebot, stupid conspiracy theory could be Marvel Disney push for more money for licensed products to be jacked up and transform prices like Hasbro do that for G.I. I don't think that's even related at all. You have to understand, Hasbro has to license Marvel and stuff and everything like that, and they wouldn't jack up the prices of their other stuff in order to make up for it. First of all, it's completely different designers and people that are in charge of those brands. So that's like saying whoever's in charge of like the Marvel stuff would have had to go to Aaron Archer and go, hey, I need you to jack up the prices for. Totally unrelated, because you have to understand, Transformer toys are made individually. They plan their pricing differently and everything, and they know their price points differently. They're not looking at what's going on the other side with Disney and Marvel and everything with their licenses. It's completely divorced of that. So I don't know. I don't agree with that at all. That's apples and oranges. T-Formers 2002. Oh damn, read the news wrong. Love more machines. Yeah, it's not the Transformers TCG. It's the deck building game. And they also did. Actually, I'm not going to pull it out. There's a whole bookshelf here that I don't want to mess with, but and also they have the role playing books, which I'm not involved with those though. Those are different. Oh, Mototron Prime with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Mototron Prime. Hey, Proto. How do you think Mattel would do Mutu X Transformer crossovers based on? Well, I'm not going to finish there. This guy right here he'd have to be the face of it. Roboto. How would Roboto not be the face of it? So definitely, and it could be Roboto X Mainframe, who's the weird Action Master character. So I always felt he had like a Mainframe color scheme. For everyone knows who Mainframe is from the Action Masters. Also has like wheels in his chest because he's an old like 1940s computer tape reels. But no, that's an easy one. I mean, look, think about it too. Faker is also technically a cyborg, so they could also do something with Faker. Faker could be like the Nemesis Prime, crossover, the evil versions. Or if you want to really go deep, like what's it called there? Toxitron from Animated was also kind of like Bizarro, and Faker was kind of like Bizarro in certain interpretations. And I'm not even that big of a Mutu guy, and that's the ideas that I have. I'm pretty sure there's like Mutu guys that really know the deeper lore, like something like Man of Arms. Do you do that with Ironhide? Do you mix them over? Like it depends which version of Ironhide would you want to do that with. It really, really depends. Really, really depends. But yeah, I mean, I could see but again, Roboto would have to be the feature. He'd have to be like if you do go back and watch the very first episode that Roboto appears in. There is Cybertronian writing on the side of his ship. And this episode was like what, in 86, 87, you know? So it's like wild. Wild. It was in the 80s. That's all I know. Let me go. We got a whole bunch of questions popping. Let me just make sure I get everybody. What do you think of, by the way, thank you, Motortron, for the question. That's a good one. Ashnode, what do you think of the news that both Marvel and DC have dropped the superhero trademark? I didn't think that was a thing because 2 years ago there was a Dragon Ball superhero movie. It was literally called Dragon Ball Superhero the movie. So I didn't even know that was a thing, but then again Japan has different trademarks, but then they released the movie here in the West in theaters. So I didn't even know that was a thing. Kind of silly. Sarah in the Mexican Beast Wars Reddit, there's a publication where Razor Beast slaps Rat Trap because he made a joke about his wife. Okay, I didn't know Razor Beast had a wife. Razor Beast set. David Cabal with the $2 super chat. Did you like Savage Dragon, Wildcats, and Youngblood? My brother, I have all of those comics. Eric Larson, Jim Lee, and Youngblood was good old Rob Liefeld. I have all of those books. Savage Dragon, I have the figures. Wildcats, I have the figures. Youngblood didn't have any figures until much later, and they were bendy figures. And the only one I have of that is, what's her name? Riptide? What's the girl who's like the water girl? Came with a comic book. I bought it at a thrift store years ago. But Savage Dragon, I love. Eric Larson kind of fell off the rocker later on. Do not read modern Savage Dragon comics; they're a little woohoo, you know. But old Savage Dragon's really good. I dig the cartoon, even though Eric Larson hates it. I think it was good for at least for his exposure of the character. I thought it had good music and good acting. You know, good voice actors were involved. I love Wildcats. You know, we're the heroes, not zeros. We got what it takes. So here's the facts. So we got power to the max. You know, we're tough as nails. When all else fail, call Wildcats. Fun fact: when David Wise was still with us, rest in peace, David. When David Wise was still with us, I brought issue number 1 of the adaptation of the Wildcats comic book. I got him to sign it. And then he was like, "Wait a minute, they adapt," because he did the cartoons. He's like, "Wait a minute, they adapted my telescreen plays into a comic," and he opened the page, and he didn't even get credited for it. And he was looking at the pages, and he's like, "Wait a minute," and he was like, "Unbelievable!" Like 25 years later, he finds out he didn't get paid, or at least get a credit. So good guy. I love that guy. He was awesome. He did the Speed Racer cartoons and everything. But yeah, I love all 3 of those. Probably Youngblood being the weakest of them. And Youngblood crossed over with Wildcats and Savage Dragons, all part of that image verse that they tried at the beginning. Obviously, the strongest of the bunch would be Spawn, and the one that still kind of exists in some shape or form today successfully. Where Savage Dragon is still around, but let's be fair, it's kind of running on fumes, Eric. But I'll give you credit; you're the longest running creator of your original brand. 85 was it, Motortron, for the episode. Well, either way, check it out. It's the only episode that Roboto is in. Check it out if you're a Transformer fan. It was the difference between superhero and superhero. Oh, good lord. Okay, sure. Then there's the difference between Autobot and Autobot. Optimus Prime. Let's make it one word. Now you could use it. Sarah, there's a reference about Will Smith and his love for Razor Beast. Yeah, that was the episode of when Jeffrey finds out that he has a son named Frederick from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and he goes out to buy him some toys, and he comes into the house of Transformers. They were on special, and then of course Will sees the Transformers, and he finds Razor Beast and Crocodile Megatron. And then the famous line is, "I am Razor Beast, and I will crush you. Bow before Razor Beast, and I will crush you." There you go. Guillaume, I very much like the Savage Dragon cartoon. Yeah, it was on Teletoon. You know what's hilarious, Guillaume? Those shows are practically lost media. Find season 2 of Savage Dragon online. Good effing luck. Supposedly you could like, I think you could buy it on Amazon or something, but you can't find a torrent for your life. You can't find a YouTube upload. It is it is all like recorded off a television, grainy, like talk about, because I guess like Eric Larson doesn't want anyone to know it exists. So good luck with that one. Good luck with that one, man. But I love that show. I liked it. I thought it was good. Again, it's obviously it's much more tamer than the comic book. The comic book is way more, violent. But I mean, it's all about exposure. You have a much more violent X-Men comic book, and then you have a cartoon that acts as your commercial for the comic. That's all. It's all about again. I don't understand these creators that feel like they're like it makes like a bastardization of their original product when you know that there's FCC limitations on television to begin with. What did you expect? Yeah, Spawn got away with it because it was on HBO and he was able to really go crazy. In fact, I almost feel like he held back because he could have done more because HBO lets you do quite a bit, especially in the later hours. But whatever. I'm not him. It's his property. He can do what he wants with his stuff. And man, did he do a lot of his stuff. Uh, Sarah says the Transformers X Files would transform into cigarette smoking man. I don't know if that would ever happen. That would definitely not happen. Um, and it smells like real cigarettes. If any ever bought anything off of eBay that says not from a smoke-free home. Motortron Prime, didn't the two Speed Racer series in the 90s both involve time travel? Well, the first one in 1991, The New Adventures of Speed Racer, did have time travel. They went both back in time to the dinosaur age and then into the far-flung future where everyone has green skin and are aliens. And talk about predicting the future, because Racer X's underground espionage organization was called Internet, but in a different way, Internet. So he was thinking far ahead before the internet. And then the second Speed Racer series, which came out in 1997, which was done by Tokunaku Productions, the original people who did the original Speed Racer, it was an anime, which was then brought over as Speed Racer X, I think it's called. I saw the original Japanese versions uh, on the old torrent days. And that came out in 97. I believe it was localized in 2001. And yeah, that also had time travel and was much short lived, unfortunately. Good music, though. Great music. Both intros were really good. Mahago. But yeah. Yeah. Doing a lot of deep stuff today. Diving into my knowledge base of everything else. By the way, if anyone who didn't see it, so these are some of the newer patches. I'll show you guys. So what do we got? So we got Battle Beasts, Ronin Warriors, King Arthur and the Knights of Justice, Dino Riders. We got Reboot. We got Bucky O'Hare and Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future. Might as well show the front here, Toys R Us and KB Toys. Then you got GoBots, Rock Lords, and my favorite of the favorite, Bots Master. You got Battle Beasts. Oh wait, did I just do the side? Sorry, I already forgot what's that. Then we got Street Sharks, Biker Mice from Mars, Muscles, aka Kaniku Man, Food Fighters, Crystar, love Crystar, Cowboys of Moo Mesa, and Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. And then on the back, because I'm not going to turn around because I won't be able to see it with you. But on the back, we got more just like, how do you do this? There we go. We got more Street Sharks. We got some Dino Raiders. We got Mighty Max there. You got White Lio from Battle Beast. You got Mask, Mummies Alive, Micro Machines. You got Reptar from, and then you got Roboto. He's over there too. Love it. Little update to the jacket. I took off the Batman one, which was more just for a tip of the hat to Aaron. I took off the Batman one because I'm working on two other of these. I have one that's going to be all obscure video game stuff. So you're going to have stuff like Primal Rage and Clay Fighters. And then I have one that's going to be more mainstream video game stuff. And then I have a mainstream jacket of mainstream toy lines. I might take the Mask one off and put it on there. I'm not sure yet if I consider Mask mainstream, but it's known enough. And then I'm going to have like a Transformer one, because everyone's like, how come you don't have any Transformers? And I'm like, That's in the works. I have a hot rod patch and a whole bunch of stuff, some Autobot ones. Go to like I wore this at TFcon. It's like, and trust me, I got like a million comments. So no Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, unfortunately. That would have been a good one to put on there. I would have liked that. Yeah, I like it. Especially the cartoon was good too, and the toy line was good. Yeah, I should have got Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. That's like, there's some obviously like I didn't put like Toxic Crusaders and some of the other weird ones. But these were ones that like, it pretty much has almost every single toy line I loved as a kid. Almost. Like it has almost every single one. Like it's like of the weird stuff, not of the mainstream stuff. But video game wise, like I already have like I have like a little Ziploc bag that's in my drawer upstairs of like getting ready for the video game one. There's a lot of wacky ones on that one. And the lady is gonna have one too. She's gonna have Gem and the Holograms and Shira and all kinds of stuff. Never was a fan of Turbo Teen. That one was kind of eh. Mayoral Fabrication with the $5 super chat. Lowball. What's the minimum unit numbers needed for Hasbro to release a figure like convention, recolor exclusive, or Hasbro Select? That, you know what? There's a great story with that. Where is it? One moment, guys. So, back in the day, here you go. Back in the day, there was the Transformers Collector Club, not the one that we know today of Fun Publications. Let me just see if it has a reference to it first. I just want to make sure before I realize I pulled this out for nothing. Does it have it? But so the Hartmans and the Hallett brother, the two Hartman brothers and Glenn Hallett, they created the OTFCC, which was the Transformers Collector. These two pages are stuck together. Hold on a second. Did we get excited for no reason? Giggity. Anyways, RC Cola. I just want to make sure of something. So, anyways, so they did the OTFCC and they had the collector club, and we sent in to get 12 issues of this, and we were going to get an exclusive figure, which they do not talk about at all in this. Very good. Yeah. Anyways, so and we were gonna get a not 6-inch, more like a 4-inch Mega PVC Skywarp figure. And according to the Hartmans and the Hallets, apparently, like, they couldn't get enough numbers made and it would cost too much. The reason why I'm making this long-winded answer is that usually it's not worth it unless it's about 2,500 to 3,000 units. And Aaron, who's in the chat, could definitely vouch for that. Where the less you make, the more expensive it is. And again, the individuals who are making it and the licensors or the exclusives. So the Hallett brothers and Hallett and the Hartman brothers, they kind of almost bankrupted themselves. And anyone who knows this story, I was getting letters in the mail from bankruptcy agencies and court documents. And keep in mind, I was like 19 at the time. And my mother was going, "Why are you getting these letters in the mail?" Because apparently I could go to claim my money for this. But the Hartmans were always cool. The Hallets were always cool. I wasn't going to ask them for money. So this is my one issue I got. No other 11 issues, no exclusive figure. Trouble was a brewing back then. But so long story short, uh yeah, it has to be like 2,500 minimum. You can't like, yeah, you have those lucky draws there, but those lucky draws are made for the Japanese market. They're able to like work out something with their factory, with Takara Tomy to go, "Hey, could you do like 5 units in chrome or something?" So and they're in great, they're great quality. The lucky draws aren't like hand painted or anything. I own 5 of them, 5 different lucky draws. 6 different lucky draws, excuse me. Forgot the green Unicron. Um, but yeah, so they're always made in limited numbers, and there's special cases with lucky draws, but otherwise Bakon 2,500, and from there, there's weird stuff, the custom classes stuff on sprues. I'm sure they work something out on the side. Again, Aaron could probably speak for it as much as I can, just from my perspective, but what do I know, right? Where are we at? Paperboy, that's a good patch. Ooh, I'd like to get that one. I want to get like, there's a few that I don't have yet. I'd like to get Excite Bike. Like to get Paperboy would be a good one. What would be another one that's like a really weird one I don't have yet because I don't want to spoil too much. I want to like debut it. But there's a few, but I don't have Paperboy. That would be a good one. It's like throwing the paper, like just the cover of the box or something. Yeah, there was a Turbo Teen model kit that had a crazy ass kid's face on it. It was so ugly, and they were sold alongside the GoBot model kits. I remember the ad for that in one of the like Marvel comics. It was terrible. It's creepy. Sarah, I bent my hand, like we said in Mexico. If Hasbro made a reissue of the first edition Optimus Prime and Bulkhead, I agree to pay leader for them. Well, I mean, look, they did the reissues for the Breakdown and the Darkness Megatron, and supposedly those didn't sell well. And I was pumping it up to people because I'm like, hey man, like these were toys that were worth a ton of money, and now we could get them mass release. And guess what? No one showed up. So they follow the numbers. 2 Formers 2002, I would explain something like the Galaxy Force DVD being about 300 or so, and it's from Japan. Yeah, Japan is different. Japan is a different animal. The Galaxy Force DVD exclusive figures, when they did like a music CD for Micron Legend, had like 3 mini cons. I mean, that's a whole different animal. But when we're talking here, which is way bigger numbers, because keep in mind, Japan market, Japan packaging, which I wish I had something that I could reach right now just to like hold in my hand as an example. But Japan market, Japan packaging, how many units do you think they're moving for that entire island? And it's not like that stuff is going to China and sitting in retail there. No, that's different animal. So where Anglophone packaging and product, which again, I have nothing to reach for right now, but Anglophone packaging or product goes to multiple regions. It goes to Canada, goes to the United States, goes to the UK, could be used in the Philippines, could be used in South America, could be used in Mexico. Japan, it's one place. So they're already used to smaller margins, smaller numbers, smaller population, not to mention with a shrinking population. It's a whole other conversation, but you know, that's why they kind of get away with that. Proximity to the factory, it's right there at the time when it was China and it was Jetta Plastics from because they moved from Macaw in 1992 and then they went to Jetta Plastics in 94, 93, something like that. And then they were there until 2015 and then everything got moved to Vietnam slowly. I think Masterpieces were the last thing to move over to Vietnam. They were the last like bastion of holdout. They were still doing stuff in China for the longest time. But yep. Man, we only got 15 minutes left. Yeah, we only have 15, 17 minutes left. We are crushing it today, though. A lot of cool stuff. Again, oh, there's the last thing. Last thing that I got, forgot to mention this. Cringe McCringle hooked me up with an entire bag of paydays, which, Cringe, not much left. It did not survive. It did not survive. Let's put it this way. On the way back home from Baltimore, and of course, bringing it home, and it's not available here in Canada. So, how many are left in here? Oh, I don't want to look. It'll make me depressed. But so I got a big bag of payday from Cringe McCringle also. Sarah, but the first edition even made companies like APC Toys. His market is selling. Yeah, but you can't compare third party. No, that you can't say, oh, well, third party selling it. Third party's a different animal. Different animal completely. Different animal. Third party can make a unit of 30 and consider it a success, you know? Canada's national. I wish. I wish we don't get any of this. We don't get any of this stuff. What's the sugar content on this? One, so here, just to give you guys an idea of why this isn't a lot. So this little bar here, and I dropped it. This little bar here, this tiny little bar, it's my big old hand, but this little bar is 14% of your fat for the day. So if you eat like 4 of these, you're just screwed, you know? And let me ask you something. How many just eat 4 of these little things a day? You know? So yeah, Canada would not allow that. They'd put something else in it or they wouldn't release it at all. 14% of your fat for the day, that tiny little bar. Imagine if it was a full-size payday, which people have brought me. They brought me the full-size one. They bought me the giant size paydays. I eat that whole payday, I'm done for the day. I can't eat anything else, health wise. T-Formers 2002. On that topic, the DVD Red Ixilion is great. Wish the Noise Maze and Minervas weren't as rare as him. You know what's funny with that one? I have a prototype of that I got from one of my um we'll call it Hasbro friends that get things with sticky fingers from Takara. Um and I always never took a good photo of it because I was always like hesitant when he was working there, getting him in trouble. But I guess I'll do it now since he's no longer with the company. I'll take some nice photos because I have the original Red Ixilion, the DVD one, and then I got the prototype, which has different colors, and then I have obviously the Ixilion that was released for Cybertron with the hot rod front and everything. Maybe I'll take some nice photos one day. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Patrick Brown chocolate payday is one of my favorite candy bars. Oh my god, imagine a chocolate payday. I just like regular payday. But chocolate on top of all this peanuts? Oh god. Oh god. 190 calories. America. America. You're killing me. You're killing me, America. You're killing me. And I'm not going to be talking about all the craziness that's going down south. It's none of my business. None of my business. You guys just relax. Everything will be fine in 4 years, and then you'll be complaining about something else. That's all I'm going to say. Mm-mm-mm. Everyone's losing their goddamn minds. Ugh. I've never seen so many grown human beings cry on television. Anyways, let's get away from that. There was enough people asking me questions about it when I was at TFcon because it's so important to get the opinion of a Canadian. Who cares? Poutine hockey and maple syrup, baby. That's where we're at. Right? Right? Poutine hockey and maple syrup? All right. All right. All right. Oh, and Jim Carrey. He's right, Jim Carrey. Can't forget that one. T-Formers 2002 king size croc paydays 104. Oh my god. It's you know what? It's insane. And you know what? And it's like that's why like I love this stuff. I love it. I love it to death, but I would never eat it all year round. It would kill me. It would absolutely like to get it once a year, twice a year, I bring it home, I share it with family and stuff, but there is no way like that I could eat this. And this is the tiny ones. These are like the snack size ones and look how much they have. Good lord. Good lord. Brother, the trifecta will always be poutine hockey and maple syrup. I wouldn't live any other life. I wouldn't live any other life. Wake up in the morning, drink a whole thing of maple syrup, spit it out. That's how we gargle in the morning with our when we brush our teeth with maple syrup. Then we have a nice bowl of poutine for breakfast. Then we watch the hockey game because that's how we get paid for a living. And that's a basic Canadian day. And if anyone tells you otherwise, they're lying to you. That's how it is. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? No tears here. My hair is intact. All is well. I hope so. I hope so because there's a lot of people that just it's kind of cringy. You know, it's kind of cringy. It's almost like they forgot 2016. But okay. Anyways, um, look, I don't want to get into that part of it with RFK, but I will say one thing. I will say one thing. You guys are a little crazy when it comes to food. Okay. That's all. Now, it could be considered a good thing because when I come to visit, we could go a little crazy. But if it's an all year round thing, I went to go see relatives in Philadelphia. And the fact that they went to eat Wawa all the time, I didn't even know what a Wawa was until I went there. But they used to go eat Wawa for breakfast all the time. And I was like, oh my, like, what are the long term ramifications of that? You know? Patrick Brown, please define poutine. Really good French fries. Here's a really good poutine. Freshly cut potato French fries done in clean oil that is done with sunflower oil. Although it's still unhealthy, but sunflower oil, so it's clean oil. Um, the gravy has to be a chicken gravy, not a beef gravy, chicken fat gravy, and cheese curds that have a rubberiness to it. And you have the most perfect poutine. It looks terrible. It looks like someone vomited on a plate of French fries, but it tastes amazing. That's all I'm going to say. Cabana Souk is expensive, Guillaume. I went not too long ago. I could only go to the ones that are all you could eat, and it's way too expensive. It's like $50 a person. And me, whenever I go out to eat, it has to be like an all you could eat situation. David Cabal, Proto Man is my politics, and I'm a better human being for it. I don't know. I always say, and look, I say this all the time on the podcast. Think of your family, think of your close friends, and that's it. You know what I mean? Don't worry about anything outside of that. You'd be surprised how if you just focus on those two things, how far you will go and not stress about anything else, you know? Just focus on those two things. You know, and I understand there's ancillary things that might be related to that. Sorry, I got some cat hair on the computer. You know, there's obviously some ancillary things that might be affected by that, but in general, most of the stressing is kind of crazy. Sometimes I feel like it's just for attention, but I mean, geez. What's up, Eyes on the Ace? It was like $20 5 years ago. I wish it was $20 5 years ago. Pre-COVID, I doubt that, but I have to drive out in the middle of nowhere to get it for $20 at that price. But yeah, you know, just take care of your friends and your family, you know, and mind your own damn business. I agree. I agree. I grew up in the black community. That is a staple. That is a staple. Mind your own damn business. That's it. That's it. Quit freaking the hell out. Just relax, you know? Just relax, you know? But I will say this. I will say this, okay? I will say this. This is the only other thing I'm going to say. And this is something that I heard from all of my minority friends. All of them. All of them. If you don't like where you live, you move. And you might say to yourself, oh, I shouldn't have to move. I shouldn't have to move. They should change. Say that to people who came from Vietnam during the 60s, you know? Say that to people who came, you know, from other countries throughout the years. People have moved all the time to better pastures. If where I live became uncomfortable and volatile for me, granted it'd be a hell of a way to move, but we are nomads by definition. We've always been forever, you know? And if you truly feel that where you live and your lifestyle is threatened, move. Move. And don't tell me, "Oh, I can't afford it. I can't this, I can't that." Is life not worth figuring out a way to get the F out of Dodge? And I'm not saying go to Canada, but I'm pretty sure there's some kind of romanticized, beautiful place that you feel would be better than where you are because people have been doing it for thousands of years. We are a species of nomads that have been doing it forever. You know, my parents-in-laws, they were all from another country that came here. My grandparents came from another country to here, you know, all to get a better life, you know, and they decided Canada instead of the United States. And that's always how it's been. So if you ever felt that your safety is threatened or something like that, look around you. And if you do feel that that it's not safe, move. And I know I'm simplifying it. Some people are going to get angry and there's going to be people who are going to unsub or whatever. But I'm telling you, if you just take a breath and be rational about it. But here's another rational thing. Maybe you're just freaking out and you should just wait 4 years and just see what happens. You know, there was people screaming last time, screaming. And I want to remind something. I don't care about the left. I don't care about the right. I don't care about those two politicians who I will not even name because the YouTube algorithm will just come down on me. I don't care about those two. Either side. I wasn't rooting for either side. I don't care about either side. I just care about people chilling, relaxing, and living their best life. And that's always how it's been. I have been so lucky and successful in my life from a creative standpoint, from a hobby standpoint, from a social standpoint, from a romance standpoint, everything. Why? Because I just did what was right for me, focus on myself, and mind my own damn business, and didn't worry about anything else. you want to know what I think about my prime minister? I don't care. He's an idiot. And I don't care. Doesn't change my life. He wants to make money. Sure. I don't care. And by the way, prime minister is our version of president, if you're just kind of curious. You know, you just do what you do best for yourself, and everything else, just block it out. If you spend 10 minutes looking at silly political stuff, that's 10 minutes you could be learning a language. That's 10 minutes you could be planning your trip to Japan. That's 10 minutes that you could be bettering yourself, learning how to play guitar, being better at that Street Fighter game so you could join the tournament at AVO and win that big cash money. 10 minutes that you could be spending learning how to edit, how to do YouTube stuff, podcasting, anything but watching The View and a whole bunch of bickering chickens complain about things and crying on stage, grown adults. Really? That's all I'm going to say about that. Enjoy your life. There's way more things to worry about than that. And this world is filled with so much cool stuff. Just these two arms alone could speak for it. There is so much cool stuff. You know, there is so much cool stuff out there. To waste even a moment on any of that other stuff is insulting to yourself. It's insulting to yourself, you know? I would talk to people that spend so much time focusing on negative content and then they turn around and go, "Man, I wish I knew how to play guitar. I wish I knew how to play." Well, if you spent as much time learning how to do six strings than watching negative content, you'd be Jimi Hendrix by now, you know? Insanity. Insanity. And I genuinely feel sorry for people like that because it's almost like it's their drug. It is. They can't kick it. They have to go knee deep into the hate. That's why people, when they look at my Twitter, how many people do I follow? Follow nobody. Nobody. I don't care. I don't. I don't care what's going on. I care what's on my front door. That's it. What's on my front door? You know? What is my neighbor doing across the street? You know? I have a German neighbor across the street. My neighbor to the left of me is Filipino. My neighbor to the right of me is French. I got a Jordanian neighbor, a couple doors down. Nice, beautiful mix of people, all great human beings. What are they doing? That's more important to me. But 3 blocks down, I don't care. Doesn't change my life after that, you know? A couple blocks down doesn't make a difference, you know? It is. It's nuts. It's absolute nuts. Absolute nuts. There you go. In Trinidad. Oh, we got Jaws D's Trinidadian. Trinidad and Tobago. Mind your business. You know? But I grew up in that environment where, you know, if you focused on all of that stuff, you were an idiot. We just like it was just like to stress yourself over it, to cry over it, to lose your hair over it. People that are exiting Twitter en masse or X or whatever you want to call it over it. It's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, fine. Do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. If it makes you feel good that now you're on Blue Sky or whatever, sure. Okay. You want to take yourself off of a platform that could give you more opportunities for your brand just because you have bad feels about a guy that might be gone in 4 years anyways? Okay. Sure. Okay. I can't wait to lose subs over this, but I don't care. It's just you guys, the people that I'll lose subs over are the people that can't be saved anyways, because they won't understand what I'm getting at. And if they don't understand it, to quote the Simpsons line, sometimes you just want to fail. That's it. You know? Sometimes you just want to fail. And it's so true. Turn off social media, love life. I've said that to everyone. I don't have social media on my phone. I don't put it on my phone. I have it on my computer. I have it on this computer that you guys have got. I have a laptop and I have a computer. I do it on that. When I walk away from that computer, I don't know what's happening on Twitter. I don't know what's happening on Instagram. I don't know what's happening on Facebook. You know? I don't know that stuff. Here's my phone right now. Okay? Real talk. Okay? Do you see Twitter? Do you see Instagram? No. There's Facebook Messenger and there's Instagram because that's the only way you get up. But do you see Twitter? And I don't have a Facebook app either. And that's it. That's it. That's it. What was that photo? Oh, that's a nice photo. That's a nice photo at the lake. But yeah, that's it. You know, keep it real. Keep it real. Enjoy your life. Be your best you. You know, I'm telling you, like, I have stuff that I'm working on behind the scenes that I'm going to be putting out soon. Big official stuff, big brands. And I got to those opportunities in my life by not focusing on the stupid stuff, focusing on just being the best. That's it. That's it. You guys can be like, oh, damn, Proto Man's working on this. Coming soon. I can't talk about it. It's going to be probably May 2025. That's how ahead we are. But you're going to see. And you're going to probably ask, oh, man, how did you get those opportunities? Because you focus on yourself. You don't focus on that stuff. It's insane how much people spend on all of that craziness. Look, eyes on Ace. There's nothing wrong with having Facebook. It's having self-control. Facebook is a great tool. It's a great tool. If you run a business or if you run a convention or if you want to know conventions are happening or you want to buy stuff or you want to sell stuff, great tool. But to sit on the Facebook feed and do this all day so you can look at memes and angry people arguing with each other, people could spend way too much time. They could lose 3 hours just staring at that before going to bed, you know? Why would they have subbed you in the first place being an avid fan of Masami Obari? You know what? Being a fan of Obari and Yuki Ashima, why would they be subbed to me? I don't know. I love Obari though. Obari-san, Ichiban number one. Love you, Obari. Both of those guys and Yuki Ashima. I could have met Yuki Ashima. He was at a BotCon one year. Imagine. He just kind of was on the down low. Imagine. I would have loved to meet him. Um, but yeah, just take care of yourself, guys. Everything that's going on in the world, just mind your business. If someone is saying some stupid stuff, whether it be left or right, whatever spectrum you want to lean on or whatever that, just ignore it. Just ignore it. Don't even react. Don't even react. Don't engage. Don't worry about any of that. Let them do their thing and keep on marching forward. You know, the old saying, the best way, to get revenge is to live life well. It's so true. You want to piss people off that you hate? Be successful. That's all you got to do. Get plenty of hate that way. Mark my words. You want people to hate you? Be successful. Be rich. Be successful. Be famous. Make money. That's how you'll get hate. You know. Protoman, do you have that retro Game Boy? What do you mean the retro Game Boy? Are you talking about that silly one there that everyone's talking about? That's an emulator that's like $100 and something dollars. Is that what you're referring to? The retro Game Boy? I just play all my emulators here. This is the controller for the Super Nintendo Classic, and then you could buy off of Amazon a connection port. See, there's the connection there that attaches to your computer, USB. And then you could just play every game to your heart's content through emulation. Not that Nintendo would like that. So that's what I do. Does it play N64 games, PlayStation 1? Well, PlayStation 1 I play on my PSP that I hacked, and N64 I just have an EverDrive cart. Everything's out there on the internet to enjoy life. All the cool stuff. How could you be looking at politics and silly things when you haven't even beaten Mario 64 yet? Where are you living life? But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Just enjoy life, guys. You know, just enjoy life. Don't stress over this. There's too many people I know that I like to consider friends that are just really making me shake my head right now. And they are getting angry, like furious. They are well, first of all, the first red flag is recording yourself crying and then putting it on the internet. Recording yourself sad and crying over this and putting it on the internet is already a level of what the hell's wrong with you? What the hell is wrong with you? Really? It's like the selfie. To me, it's like the selfie with grandma when she's dead in the hospital. Gonna miss you, grandma, with the dead corpse. It's like it's that kind of level of like, good lord. You know? What do we got here? Still haven't rescued Zelda. Which one though? Try a Link to the Past. That's the easiest Zelda to rescue. Eyes on the ace. Take a deep breath. That's what takes some patience. Have anger issues and thoughts about hurting themselves. Usually stems from comparing themselves to others. Well, you shouldn't compare yourself to others because it there's one thing that people were lied to many years ago is everyone was created equal. We're not all created equal, so don't compare yourself to others. You know, Muggsy Bogues didn't look at Michael Jordan and say that could be me. Meaning a 5'3" guy can't look at a 5'7" guy and go like, I could do this. Like no one's created equal. So it's something where you just focus on the good that you do have. Oh, here comes the boss. Your audience awaits. Come on. Yeah. So it's something where ugh, it's something where just focus on whatever gifts you do have in life, whatever advantages that you do have. Look, some people could draw. Aaron Archer is an incredible, artist. He could draw way better than me. He can't slam dunk a basketball, but it doesn't matter because he takes advantage of what he's good at. You know, everyone has a gift, everyone has a talent. Sometimes you just got to find it and then focus on that. You might not know what it is yet. Sometimes you got to find that talent. You feel you have no talent right now, but you might walk into a judo dojo and find out you're really good at that. You might walk into an arcade and find out you're really good at playing fighting games. Everything is everything is relative, my friends. Everything is relatives, right? Right, Butters? Right, Butters? But yeah, guys, we're going to call it quits. We're at the 2-hour mark. I had a fantastic time at TFcon. I met a whole bunch of amazing people. I want to give a shout out to a 12-year-old fan that came by with his mom. Gave him some really good advice about, avoiding student loans and planning for the future and just all of that stuff. Really figuring out what makes you happy in life and focusing on that. You know, I'm glad his mom was there to hear it too, because sometimes you need to have the parent there to help him guide him and stay him on track. But I'm out of here, guys. I'm going to relax with the family. I'm a little behind on playing some of my video game stuff. There's an update to River City Girls 2, where my buddy Aaron Hansen is going to be voicing one of the Double Dragon characters, so I want to go play that. I think the update's happening tonight or tomorrow. I have to double check that, but I'm out of here, guys. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for all the super chats, the love and support and everything. Once again, TFCon was a reminder of what we do here is enjoyed by everybody. Take care, and I'll talk to you in the near future.